Something is wrong with the universe. Our stocks are down and every Disney movie this year has failed.
We don't understand it, sir. We keep making the same movie over and over and pandering to everyone, but suddenly it's not working.
Duh.
Then we've got to pander harder.
Oh.
Well, hello, kiddies. It's your friendly neighborhood watchman, here with you today to talk about what else? The grandest CEO who ever lived, Bob Iger. Because Disney can't seem to stay out of the news. Bless their hearts.
God bless us, everyone.
Gotta beat that mouse because it ain't dead. So, we're gonna go over this article by the familiar Spencer Buckley from Bounding Into Comics with the title Disney CEO Bob Iger, who admits company's recent output featured an overload of woke content.
Duh.
No, you don't say. Quote, creators lost sight of what their number one objective needed to be. End quote. Yep. Scapegoats, right, Bob? All this wokeness happened out of your sight, huh? Now, you guys got burnt by South Park and Irony of Ironies when they were lampooning Kathleen Kennedy about the lesbian stuff.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
You actually had a lesbian relationship in the Marvels, which wound up on the cutting room floor because you were so predictable. And you guys were embarrassed for being so predictable with your woke messaging, propaganda, and ideology. You guys were so embarrassed you cut the scene out. I digress. In a seeming expression of corporate humility that more than almost any that came before it in human history remains to be seen to be believed, Disney CEO Bob Iger has admitted that the House of Socialist Mouse's recent productions focus far too heavily on social messaging and not enough on actually entertaining audiences. Wow. Shit, you don't say. When did the proverbial anvil fall on your dumbasses' heads?
Oh, a dollar!
The current steward of Disney's sinking ship made this admission while speaking to the New York Times, Andrew Ross Sorkin, as part of the outlet's 2023 Steelbook Summit, an annual event wherein the aforementioned reporter hosts public interviews with a number of notable individuals from across the world's various industries. Yeah, we covered a bit of this in a recent video. Amidst a general discussion with the CEO regarding the current state of the ever-changing movie industry, Sorkin eventually moved to ask Iger what he believed might be a political question. We were talking about environmental, social, and corporate governance investing earlier this morning with Chase Bank CEO Jamie Dimon, began Sorkin. Part of what happened while you were gone from the company was a number of films that were greenlit that people were describing as woke, with woke characters. A fight with DeSantis, by the time you got back, I know people saw images of this. There was a morning outside of Disney World where folks literally would swastika flags and DeSantis flags, anti-gay flags and guns while families were trying to walk into the park. This all said, the host ultimately pressed Iger. I'm curious what you think has happened and how you as a company are supposed to deal with that, and what you feel like what you can say and can't say given this remarkably polarized climate we're in, clarifying as to whether or not Sorkin's inquiry was in regarding the company's content or the stances it takes on social issues, and being met with the direct answer of, quote, both, end quote. The Disney CEO then explained, let me start with content and your comment about woke characters. Our primary objective in creating content as a company, say for ABC News, which is obviously to inform, is to entertain. Whether it's sports, whether it's Disney, whether it's Marvel, make things that entertain people and failing horribly. And the good news is that there's a marketplace out there that demands entertainment. It's a fantastic business to be in because of that, but we just currently suck at it.
He ain't lying.
Turning to address the actual substance of their recent content, Iger asserted, quote, I think what had happened over a period of time and was building and maybe it reached a peak of some sort while I was gone is that creators lost sight of what their number one objective needed to be, end quote. Oh sure, that's his excuse now. The wokeness reached a peak while he was away from the company, huh?
Daddy, chill.
So, who was in charge while he was so-called away? Bob Chapek, who Bob Iger helped kicked out as he moved back in as CEO. Often, when we entertain, and we've entertained as a company over the 100 years we've been in business, yeah, and you guys weren't in charge during those 100 years. We have entertained with values and with having a positive impact on the world in many different ways. Really? I use Black Panther as a great example of that, just in terms of fostering acceptance.
Wakanda forever, right? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, stepdad, that gesture means something. We can't just use it to salute that joke. Stay woke.
Or the movie Coco, which Pixar did about the Day of the Dead, he continued. I like being able to do that. Entertain, and if you can infuse it with positive messages to have a good impact on the world, fantastic. But that should not be the objective. I remember the Cosby Show was #1 show on TV, and that was decades ago. Now, okay, that hasn't aged well because we all know now what's gone on with Bill Cosby. That became public. But nevertheless, it was the #1 show for a while, and this guy wants to toot his horn on Black Panther, only because of skin color. When I came back, what I have really tried to do is to return to our roots. Yeah, right. Which is, remember, we have to entertain first.
Duh.
The returning Disney executive concluded, it's not about messages. Again, if your story can have a positive impact, so there's that. And I've worked hard since I've been back in reminding the creative community, who are our partners, our employees, that that's the objective. And I don't really want to tolerate the opposite. So there's that.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And while not specifically on the topic of pop culture or entertainment, for those curious, Iger explained in regards to the company's stances on social issues. When it comes time to taking positions about issues, I have tried really hard over the years. And I'm not calling them politics, because a lot of them are not politics. It's what is right and what is wrong. When it comes time to take positions, I have tried really hard to apply a standard that asks, is this relevant to the company, to our people, to our company, to our shareholders? That's a very important test, he said. So if we take a position on the environment, we care about the health of our planet. It's because we believe if the planet is not healthy, it will be bad for our business. Now that's perceptive logic right there, folks. People are not going to go to theme parks if they can't breathe the air. More like they can't afford it, for instance. That's not politics. That's just business. So if anyone has accused us of being political when it comes to that, they're just dead wrong. Okay, Bob. Iger then declared, I could argue the same thing. It was interesting to listen this morning to the Vice President, Kamala Harris, about immigration. Interesting, huh, Bob? We have over 200,000 employees, he elaborated. We rely on a workforce that is talented, motivated, and interested in working for our company. The more diverse it is, the better off we are. And so a robust immigration policy is something that actually is a pro-business for us. This isn't a robust immigration policy, you asshole. This is illegal aliens entering our country, flooding into our country ad nauseum, and no country can survive it for long.
The US is under invasion.
Tens of thousands of illegal immigrants have descended on the United States southern border with a free pass into the mainland following weak border policies from the Biden administration.
This country is already trillions of dollars in debt, but let me not let this asshole get me all heated. But I digress. To continue, however, Iger also opined, there are times when there are subjects that maybe we should not comment on because they're not relevant, not unless they are of such importance to the world. For instance, I think commenting about terrorist acts is perfectly reasonable for the CEO of a large company. He wound down. Thoughts on the topic? When, by the way, I think, it's interesting when you think about the world and who people listen to and what they expect of leaders. And I just think that there's a time and a place for companies to weigh in on issues. And it's actually something that I think CEOs get paid to do. Okay, Bob. If I knew this article was going to be a majority of quoting Bob Iger, I would have passed as I grew nauseous reading his comments. But, folks, when we have the opportunity and time afforded to us, we'll go over some of the readers' comments. First up, from Bunny with a Keyboard, we have, and while not specifically on the topic of pop culture entertainment, for those curious, Iger explained in regards to the company's stances on social issues. Quote, when it comes time to taking positions about issues, I have tried really, really hard over the years, and I'm not calling them politics, because a lot of them are not politics. It's sometimes it's what is right and what is wrong. When it comes time to taking positions, I have tried really hard and to apply a standard that asks, is this relevant to the company, to our people, to our company, to our shareholders? End quote. Except that pushing sexuality onto kindergartners is wrong on so many levels. Yeah, I agree, and of course, one woke dumbass does not. Dr. Evil jumps in. Bob Iger, there is no need for political discussions because we are automatically morally right on every political issue. End quote. That's called fascism, Bob. That's called the Disney way. Bunny with a Keyboard opines again, quoting Bob Iger, that's a very important test, he said. So if we take a position on the environment, we care about the health of our planet. It's because we believe that if the planet is not healthy, it will be bad for our business. People are not going to go to the theme parks if they can't breathe the air, for instance. That's not politics, that's just business. So, if anyone has accused us of being political when it comes to that, they're just dead wrong. End quote. I guess the woke now believe we're running out of oxygen. Astonishing how much crazy garbage they make up and call science. Last but not least, from Red Fox Jr., we have, to top it all off, Iger is basically trying to saddle Bob Chapek with the blame for all of the recent downturn, when in fact, Chapek's short stint was full of having to deal with the emerging fallout from all of Iger's policies and guidance during his tenure. Correcto mundo, big thumbs up. Thumbs up, everybody. So folks, we reach the end of this video. Feel free to comment if you like and smash that like button and help the channel out by subscribing if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell if you want to be forewarned for whenever I'm about to drop another video. And as always, stay safe and I bid you peace.
Look, I don't want to have to say it, but I think the problem is Kathleen Kennedy. What if this is a different Kathleen Kennedy? What do you say?
You can't handle the truth!
I'm just saying, isn't it possible that we here at Disney pandered so much that we've opened a doorway to the Panderverse?
Yup!
The Panderverse is just a theory! Well, she's on her way in right now. If you want to tell Kathleen Kennedy you think she's from an alternate universe, go right ahead.
Is there a problem, people? We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a ticket in, make her gay!